to today's video. So today I'm going to be trying out some new makeup products. I've got, I think 7 things here to try. I just wanted to try some new launches. I'm also trying out some false eyelashes, as you can probably tell. Spoiler alert, I like these. Yes, they are dramatic, but I do like them, and I was gifted them by Guzman, I think is her last name, and I know I'm probably butchering like how that's supposed to sound, and I'm really sorry. She owns the brand Pink Lash Princess. I discuss it a little bit more later in the video, but I'll put a link for her lash website in the description box below. I'll put like her Instagram to follow, the lash company, and also her personal Instagram because she is a makeup artist as well as a YouTuber, so definitely go support her there. Thank you again, Daisy, for sending me these. I really like them so far. So yeah, but we're gonna try all this makeup. I'm very excited to show you how everything applies and all that good stuff. And then I will be doing an end of the day check-in for you guys to show you like how everything wore. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the application portion. So I'm gonna start off with the e.l.f. Big Mood Mega Volume and Lifting Mascara. Apparently it has an hourglass brush. It says that on the box that it comes in. This like literally just came out last week. I had to wait till everything came in before I was able to actually record this. And so it's got like, I love this packaging. It says Big Mood right there. It's purple. I love it. Let's take a look at the wand. Yep, it's got like a natural bristle hourglass brush. It kind of looks like the L'Oreal Voluminous Paradise brush, so I like that mascara a lot, so I have very high hopes for this. So let's see how much volume we can get and how well this builds and everything, because of course I'm going to put on more than one layer. So that's the first layer. I think it's okay. I definitely think it curled it a little bit and blackened it. I'm definitely gonna build it up. There's some volume, but not that much. So let's do the other eye and then we'll do like a second layer. It almost seemed to lift my left eyelashes more. Eyelashes can be so temperamental, at least mine can. But this is the first layer, so it's it's definitely like there, it's blackened, a little bit of volume, not too much length, it's curled a little bit, but it's not to my desired like volume and length. So let's see if I can build it. All right, so this is with 2 coats. I think it looks pretty good. It's not my favorite. It almost looks a little bit spidery and they look a little bit shorter than normal. But I didn't want to build them up too much because on that second layer, it started to, like the mascara was starting to dry. So it was starting to get caught and then start to really clump them together. So far this is okay. If you really just want a lot of volume, I think this is kind of what you're looking for. But for me, I do like a little bit more curl, a little bit more length, as well as volume. I just want it all. Okay. So before we get on to the rest of the eyes, I'm going to put on my face primer because I want that to kind of settle in while I do my eyeshadow. And so I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Putty Primer. If you are not new here, you are very well aware that my favorite, or at least one of my favorite primers, is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So I was very interested to try this out because it's got salicylic acid in it. I love salicylic acid. So it's green. I don't know why, but it is. And I'm just going to take it and apply it like I normally do my Poreless Putty Primer. No like smell that I can detect. Seems to be pretty blurring. It seems to be very similar to the poreless putty primer except with salicylic acid. It's got 1.8% salicylic acid in here, by the way, just in case you're wondering. But yeah, it seems to be applying almost exactly like the poreless putty primer. Just kind of like smooths your skin and fills in your pores, which is what I love. So we'll see how foundation applies over this, but so far so good, and hopefully it won't cause any irritation on my skin. I don't usually have a problem with salicylic acid, but you know, you never know, especially with me because I have the most sensitive skin known to man. So I went ahead and put some eye primer on because we're going to try out a new palette. It's actually by the brand Violet Voss. It's called Cool Vibes. It's pretty much speaking to me because I love cool, neutral eyeshadow because I am boring. I've talked about this before. We'll move on from it. But I was pretty excited to see this. I will say the one thing that I think is missing out of here is a light shimmery shade because we have this one right here that's a matte, like light shade, but all the shimmery shades are like pretty deep. But I'm excited to try this out. I think the first shade I'm going to go in with is the shade Coolest Brown, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to go in with it. I like how giant the pans are because I feel like you'd never like run out of it. I've actually never tried Violet Voss shadows and I've always wanted to. And when I saw this palette, I was like, perfect opportunity. Pretty pigmented. It definitely has some kick up in the pan. If you can kind of see, if that bothers you, I don't really care, but I know that some people do, so I do like to mention it. So I'm going to blend this out. Let me find my blending brush. It's very pigmented. I don't really see any patchiness so far, which is nice. So I am noticing a bit of a blending issue. If you can kind of see, I mentioned that it wasn't patchy initially, but when I started blending it, and it started blending away in some areas and then it wouldn't like blend at all in other areas, which is pretty frustrating. It's weird though because over here it's not nearly as bad. So that's bizarre. I am gonna go back into this brush though and try to even it out. Maybe see what we can do from there. Yeah, it's still a little patchy. You see what I'm talking about? Like right there. It's weird because the other side is not nearly as bad. I've been blending it for a while now and it's just a little patchy. It's a little frustrating, but let's see how the whole look comes together. I'm trying to, you know, not jump the gun. Let me go into the shade Zero Chill right here. I'm just gonna take it on a little bitty fluffy brush. This one also has a little bit of kickback in the pan. Just like do the outer edge, just to deepen it a little bit. I'm gonna have a very dark eye look going on today, I think, because I don't have like a light sparkly shade in here and I want to use one of the shimmer shades. I'm very lightly blending it. I just want it to not be so harsh, but I don't want to blend it away either. This one does have a little bit of fallout on my face. If you can kind of see, I feel like you can't see it. I used an eye primer, but I also put like the Wet n Wild single shadow in Brulee on top of it. That way it wouldn't get like caught anywhere, so I don't really know why it's having this issue. I don't know if this is a consistent issue that Violet Voss has, or if it's like maybe just because these particular shades are formulated a certain way, but I got it to work, I think. I go into the shade Cool Side, which is this like kind of taupey, like shimmery brown shade. Normally, I think it's gonna work though. Normally I would go in with a little bit of a lighter shade too, but they don't have that in a shimmer form. So we're just gonna do this and see how it works. So I'm gonna place this on my lid. Oh, I do like that shade though. It's definitely a brown, but it's lighter, so it's gonna create an ombre effect, which is one of my favorite ways to wear eyeshadow. Oh, I like the way that this is looking. This shimmer is almost maybe a little stiff, but once you kind of get it on your finger, it really like lays down nicely. I don't know if it would work well with brushes though, if you are somebody who applies your shimmer eyeshadows with brushes. I don't. I always like to use my finger, so I'm not really sure. But I do really like the way that, like, you see that kind of like ombre effect. I'm also got a little bit of blending to do, but I really like this shade with these two matte shades I have on my lid. I really, really like that shade. Actually, way more than I thought it was going to. Isn't that funny? I thought the mattes were gonna be like my favorite part of this palette, and the darkish shimmer one that I used is so far my favorite. So this is the final look. I really do like the way it came together. I'm still dealing with a little bit of patchiness right there, but like if my eyes are open, which they are most times, then you can't tell as much. But I will say I was surprised in a good way by this shimmer. I think it's very pretty. I really like the look that it created. I was a little disappointed in the patchiness on the matte shades I used, which were Coolest Brown and Zero Chill, but I'll keep playing with them and then let you know kind of how I'm feeling about them in like a speed reviews video that I'll do here soon. So far, it's okay. I think I would give it about a 6 out of 10. I definitely don't think it's worth $30 because like the Stone Cold Fox palette by ColourPop is like, I think it's $32. It's got way more shades and I like the way those perform better, at least compared to how these performed off the bat. So we will see. But if you have tried a Violet Voss palette in the past, let me know if patchiness is a consistency throughout the brand or maybe it's just with this Cool Vibes palette that they released. So I'm gonna come back to eyes in a little bit because I actually have some false lashes I'm going to be trying from a small brand that I'm very excited about. And as you know, the last time I tried false lashes was the Michaela video. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. And they were way too big. And so I corresponded with the owner of this brand called Pink Lash Princess, and her name is Daisy. And it's a small brand, and she's also a YouTuber as well. I'll link her channel below. And I was like telling her that I have like a pretty small face in general and small eyes, so like I have very small features, so if I wear eyelashes that are like way too big, it's really obvious. So she sent me ones that she thought were going to be the best for me, and just by looking at them I'm really excited. But before I get ahead of myself, we are going to try this product, which I'm very excited about. It is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. It's supposed to be primer, but I use the e.l.f. primer, so just see if this is also primer. But it's also supposed to be concealer, highlighter, and a BB cream. So it's kind of supposed to be like a foundation-y type product as well as a concealer. So we'll see. I didn't get that much sleep last night, so this is really gonna be put to the test. And I also have a little bitty hormonal breakout right there, and we're just dealing with it. So I'm very excited. This has been all over TikTok, but I haven't watched a single review to see what people think about it. I don't have very high hopes for this because I did try the like original foundation in this format. I love the Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I actually need to pick that up because I haven't used it in a while, but it was like my cult favorite forever. This one looks very similar to the foundation. I'll stick a picture of that on the screen, but it's supposed to be like, I guess, like a better version. I don't know. We will see. I'm very excited. I have been dying to try this, and I don't know why. If I think it's gonna be bad, why am I interested? Maybe it's just so intriguing. I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. I have a sponge and I do have brushes. I don't know how well this would work with a brush, but we might try it like that. I feel like this is something that would be best with a sponge or like maybe your fingertips. I don't know. We're just gonna play it by ear. But first, let me remove the stickers so I can open this thing. All right, so I opened it and I got it in the shade 01 Light. I'm pretty sure they have a fair shade too, but it looked just a little bit too fair for like my body skin. My face skin is a little bit lighter and it's got a little bit of hyperpigmentation, and my body skin is just a little bit, I mean, I'm still fair, but it's a little bit deeper. So, oh gosh. I decided to try to go with this to see. It looks like it's going to be too dark for both, but we're just gonna make it work. We'll see. This is a try on air kind of thing. It's got a sponge tip applicator, which I know probably a lot of people aren't super happy about. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Twist this thing up. Is it coming out? It's taking an eternity. Oh, okay, I see it. So I guess I'm just gonna swipe it on my face. Let's see. Oh, that's not enough. Let me get some more. Okay. Let's see kind of what we're working with. I guess I'm gonna do half my face right now. And I'm gonna go in with this Milani sponge and just see kind of like if that works. It's very, very glowy, which is exactly what it claims to be. Okay, so the first layer with a sponge really didn't cover much. Maybe like a tinted moisturizer kind of an effect, but it's not covering much. So I guess I'll try it with a brush on the second layer. Then I'm gonna put on the right side. So let's just see here. I feel like there's like not much coming out. I've seen some TikToks where this is like testing it against Hollywood Flawless Filter by TILBURY. I don't know if I don't think that that's what this is supposed to be, so I don't know if that's like that would be a correct dupe, but you know, maybe it is. I'd have to see. I look crazy right now. So I'm using the Rare Beauty brush. I really like this foundation brush. This and the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, which I'm actually going to be using for my bronzer today, they're both excellent foundation brushes. The e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush is also really good just in general. So I didn't really get much more coverage on that layer, which is odd, especially since this was with the brush. I thought I'd get a little bit more coverage. I definitely think this is supposed to be a lighter coverage kind of foundation-y product, which is fine. Like, some people want that. I don't think it's going to do much for my pimple today. Might have to spot conceal that. And it's not really doing much for my under eye circles. Yeah, you can still see like my hyperpigmentation, any acne scarring. Let's do the other side and just try it. I guess I'll try it with my hands. Not super pumped about that. The only like foundation kind of product that I like to apply with my hands is actually the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I really like the way that one applies with fingers. I'm not normally a fingertip person. All right. This just might not be the product for me. Yeah, this is really odd. I guess I could kind of see how people think this would be like the Hollywood Flawless Filter, because it definitely has that similar effect on my skin. And I'm definitely someone who has much less than perfect skin. I have seen a couple people on TikTok who have mentioned trying this. I never watch the whole reviews when I see it on TikTok, and they have like no imperfections, and I'm like, I mean, I'm pretty sure anything would look good on your skin. So I don't know if that's a fair representation. This feels very glowy and like oily. Oh no. Okay, let me do another. I forgot to apply that with my hands. Okay, let me do another. I feel like you have to keep like getting stuff out of this. Okay, but I feel like I just feel like this is a product that's not going to build up. I guess I'll try it with my hands. Oh yeah, this like to the touch is really slick. Very oily feeling. I don't like that. Oh my gosh. I can feel it on my skin. It's very prominent and I hate that. This is not my best skin day so far. I don't really see how this could be anything but like a glowy primer. I think this isn't really doing much for a BB cream type product, and I really like the Purito BB cream, but this definitely has the same effect as like the Hollywood Flawless Filter, so I could definitely see where people are like going with that comparison. So I kind of want to do another layer. I'm a little scared to, because like normally I only stick with like 2 layers max. I want to show you this in natural lighting. I really don't like the way this looks. I look like a rotisserie chicken. Okay, so I'm gonna have to talk really loud because somebody is like doing their lawn work. And also I haven't blended this foundation product down my neck and it's really bright out here. But this is what it's looking like out in natural lighting. I have blended it the best I can and I just think this is awful. I do not like this as a foundation. Maybe it's like a primer type of product, like a glowy primer, but like this just, it's emphasizing everything I hate about my skin. So I really don't like this so far. I'm thinking about taking it off actually, because I actually want to give the e.l.f. Putty Primer a chance with foundation, like a good foundation. Do you know what I'm saying? All right, so I just got back inside. From a distance, this foundation looks all right. I just looked at the footage that I recorded outside to verify my deepest fears because it was really bright out there, and so I was having a hard time actually seeing it in like my, like I see myself in my, you know, reflection from the camera. But it's even worse than I thought. It looks really terrible, and I just also went outside with a mirror and looked at it, and it looks awful. It's also starting to burn like right around here in my nose area, which is really concerning. So I think I really am gonna take this off. Normally I would stick it out and, you know, just deal with it to see how it wears. But if I don't like how it is right now, I think I'm gonna hate it like the longer that it's on my skin. So I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna reapply the e.l.f. Putty Primer and like a foundation I like off of camera. And then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do other products. I'm sorry, normally I would not bail on like trying a foundation for a full day because normally this would be like a full day wear test, but this foundation is just awful like off the bat and I can't make it work. If you had like zero imperfections and nothing to cover, I think that maybe you would like this if you want to glow. I do think you might want to be careful though because I have sensitive skin and it's really starting to burn. I'm really gonna have to go take this off. Not trying to be over dramatic. But I just don't think it's it. I don't think that this is the product. All right, so I ended up putting on the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear foundation, which as you know is my favorite. And I did reapply this after I had to reapply my sunscreen too. I almost forgot I had to do that. But I went ahead and reapplied this after my sunscreen and I really do like the way it looks. It looks really nice under this foundation as well. So I'm really excited about that. So let's get on to the next product, which is also by e.l.f. I've got lots from e.l.f. today. And it is the Putty Bronzer. I was very excited when they released this. They have a lot of putty stuff. So it's essentially a cream bronzer, and I got two different shades. I got Feelin' Shady, which is kind of more like a contoury shade, and Tan Lines, which is like a light bronzer shade. So I'm gonna start off with Feelin' Shady. I think I'm gonna try to slightly, I think I'm gonna try to slightly contour a little bit. It's got this like cool tone, which I really like. And I like the size of these because these would be really easy to travel with. So normally I would go in with the Putty Primer Applicator because it's a teeny tiny little version of the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, which is one of my all-time favorite brushes ever. But as you can see, this one's dirty and so is the other one I have. It's been a very busy week for me. I started another class, so I'm taking a full load, and it's insane. I think I'm gonna go on my finger and just try to like lightly contour. I don't contour every day. I definitely went through a contouring kind of phase, and I know that contouring is not nearly as popular as it once was, but I still like to do it every once in a while. So let me see here. I might actually blend this in with my fingers, because it seems to be doing a nice job of that. It is quite like oily feeling, but it doesn't seem to apply very oily, so it's not super slippery. I really like the way that is going on. It's not picking up my foundation, which is nice. I really like that. I'm gonna do the other side before we get into the bronzer shade. Like it's subtle, but like it's definitely there, and I like that. And this one seems to have set down to kind of like a demi matte, maybe a satin finish. I really like it. Yeah, I really like the way that contour shade applied. So far so good on this. Let's move on to the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Tan Lines, which is like the lightest bronzer shade. It's a little bit warmer than the other one. I think I'm gonna try to blend this out with a brush, but I think I'm gonna put it onto my face first. I'm gonna go a little bit higher than I did with the shade Feelin' Shady. It does seem to blend out really nicely though, like just with your fingers. So I really like that. Okay, I've placed that. Let's see kind of what we're dealing with. Put a little bit on the perimeter, just a little bit. I don't want to put too much, but I do want to warm it up a little bit. I do like the way that this is applying. It's a little bit more slippery than some other cream bronzers I've tried, like the Danessa Myricks one that I really like that you can get from like Sephora. And then of course, Danessa Myricks website. I like the way that blended. Is more of a mousse. This is definitely more like a cream. I really like the way that the cream bronzer applied. It's just a little bit like more slippery than other cream bronzers like the Danessa Myricks one. So if you don't like that, then just be aware. But if you are a little bit more of a beginner to cream bronzers, I think this would be a good introduction to it because it's got a little bit more room to work in that it doesn't like lay on the skin immediately, like it doesn't completely dry. Do you know what I'm saying? But I do like the way it looks. It looks really, really nice. So I'm gonna put some powder on real quick. Then we've got false lashes left, an eyebrow pencil, and a lipstick left to try out. So I'm gonna do eyebrows real quick. I have this eyebrow pencil. It's called Brow Kiki Micro Brow Defining Pencil by One Size. It's Patrick Starr's line. So this is in the shade Blonde, and it's supposed to be really teeny tiny. I think it's gonna remind me of like my CoverGirl one that I love, but let's just see. It does come with a spoolie. Oh, it comes with a teeny tiny spoolie. I love how small that spoolie is. And it does a nice job of like combing them up. And I'm just gonna start going in. It's super teeny tiny. This is applying really nicely. Honestly, it is so similar to the CoverGirl one. Eyebrow pencils are something you really don't need to spend a bunch of money on. It's super quick. I'm a person who does not like to spend much time on my eyebrows, but I still want them to look good. Like people who like spend the most time on their eyebrows getting ready, how do you do that? I could never do that. I don't have that patience for eyebrows. Eyeshadow and foundation, sure, but not eyebrows. I like the way my eyebrows look, but I will say this is very similar to the CoverGirl one that I love. It's an absolute favorite. I actually mentioned it in a Best at the Drugstore video I put up recently. I really like that. Let me set these real quick. I'm actually gonna use the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel. I bought this recently because it's $2.99. And I was like, I might as well try it out, and I really, really like it, honestly. It's very similar to the Maybelline Brow Sculpt, but it's even cheaper than that. Okay, I really like that eyebrow pencil. Very impressed. Okay, good. Some products are making this video worth it because the foundation had me scared. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the lashes. So here's the cute little package they came in. I've been dying to try these out. Daisy, the owner of Pink Lash Princess and the CEO, is the one who sent me this. It has my name on the top, and then she sent me the style Baby G. I think these are gonna be perfect. All right, so I think I'm gonna go into the style Baby G. These are the ones that she specifically picked out just for me, which I'm very excited about. Ooh! It comes with a cute little pink spoolie. I love that. Thank you. And I think these are going to be much better than the ones that I tried for the Michaela video. Those were very large and in charge. These seem to be a little bit more scaled back, which I definitely like. Right, I'm going to cut a little bit off, not too much, just like about right there. Yeah, I think these are gonna be better than the ones I tried for the Michaela video. So let me cut the other ones real quick get those working, and then we're gonna apply them. I'm very excited. All right, so let me get my glue. I've got the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive, and I'm going to apply it to the band. We're gonna start with the right eye. Dry for a second. These are dramatic, but I like them more than the Michaela lashes. I just feel like even though they're dramatic, I think these have a little bit more of a tapering effect towards the inside of the eye. And though I would not wear these for every day, like for date night, I can see myself wearing these. They're definitely there, like you can tell, but I like them. Let me do the other eye. It's also kind of helping hide the patchiness that the eyeshadow has on this right eye. I like them, and they're not uncomfortable, which is nice. I can feel them a little bit because I'm a person who's not used to wearing lashes, but I like these. I do think I need to put a little bit of mascara on the bottom lash line to kind of even it out a little bit. I actually do like the way these look with my eyeshadow. They're large, don't get me wrong, but they're not too large for my eyelid space. That was my problem with the Michaela ones, which looked a little similar to this, except for they were like overtaking my eyes. And I feel like these are not overtaking like my eye look or anything else. That is so exciting. Thank you so much again, Daisy, for sending these to me. And she put them in the cutest package. I put it all on my Instagram story and whatever, and it was just like the cutest. Like, she left me a sweet note, and she gave me a 15% off discount for my next order, so that is so awesome. So let me put on some lip liner. I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury one. I haven't used this one in a while. And then I'm gonna put on the lipstick that I got. All right, so the lipstick I got to try is the new Milani, what is this thing called? The Milani Matte Statement Lipstick, I think is what it's called. And I got it in the shade Tease, which is like this pretty nude shade. And let me just apply this. This smells amazing. I love this color. Okay, that went on so smoothly. This reminds me of the lipstick I wore for my wedding last year, which was by Nabla. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I'll try to put a picture of it on the screen if I can find it. I think it might be discontinued. I really like the eyelashes. Definitely go check out Daisy on Instagram. Go order from her lash site if you are a big lash wearer, or if you just want to kind of dip your toes into the lash waters. The most expensive lashes on there that I've seen are like $15, but they are like for multiple use. So like they're not like one and done, and that's it. Thank you again, Daisy, for gifting me these lashes. Definitely go check Daisy out on Instagram if you want to do that. I've said that a billion times, but seriously, guys, she is so sweet too. So it's really good to always support smaller brands. I'm gonna go finish my day, and at the end of the day, before I take off my makeup, I'll show you how everything wore. For now, that is it, and I will see you guys in a little while. All right, guys, so it is 10:15 now. I'm about to take my makeup off, and by the way, I finished all of my makeup at 1, so this has been on for 9 hours and 15 minutes. So the lipstick actually lasted pretty well. I did reapply it a little bit in the middle because you can kind of see it's like faded just a little bit, but it stayed pretty well. I ate a salad with dressing and it stayed on for the most part during that, except for like right in the middle. The eyeshadow has stayed on really nicely. As you can see, I took off the lashes because my eyes are really tired. I didn't get much sleep last night and they were kind of making my eyes water a little bit. Well, not the lashes themselves, I think the lash glue was. But I think the eyeshadow performed well in the long run, but I don't think you need to go out and buy it. It's a $30 palette. Just go get the Stone Cold Fox palette by ColourPop on their website or on Ulta's website because it's $32. You get way more shades and I like those much more anyway. I do think the mascara kind of like made my lashes droop at the end. Like, they're not very curled or anything, so I don't think you need to run out and get the mascara. I don't think it's bad. Like, if you were more focused on volume, I think it's worth a try. It's not too expensive, so you can always give it a try. I like the eyebrow pencil a lot. I don't think you need to spend $19 on an eyebrow pencil. Just go get the CoverGirl one, or you can even try the, I think it's the Essence one that's only like $2.99 too, that kind of goes with the eyebrow gel I used earlier today. But I do like the eyebrow pencil. So if you were like in Sephora and wanted to try it, definitely give it a try. I do really like it. I like the tone of it, and it went on super, super easily. The bronzer stayed pretty vibrant and it didn't fade, and I really like the contour shade too, so those are a definite yes. Obviously, you've heard me say how much I like the lashes. I really do. They are dramatic, and I know I've talked about how much I don't like lashes, but I felt like they were like to my point of being dramatic enough, but not too dramatic to where I felt like they overtook my entire look. And I think they actually accentuated it and also covered the patchiness on my eye that was having the patchiness issue during the application portion of the eyeshadow part. I really, really liked the primer. I'm excited to use it again. I haven't had any weird feelings today, like regarding the primer, and I think it did a nice job of like really filling in my pores, especially under the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. We obviously know how I felt about the Maybelline Superstay 4-in-1 Glow makeup. I think it's awful. Definitely do not get that, especially if you have any sort of imperfections on your skin that you want to cover, or just anything in general that you don't really want to accentuate. That is not it for a foundation-y kind of product. I don't think it's like a BB cream. I think it is really kind of similar to the Hollywood Flawless filter, and you could maybe use it under a foundation if you wanted to, but I'm thinking about returning it because it's awful. And I will put right here, because this video is going to go up about a half a week after I recorded it, so I'll have tried it a couple more times, so I'll put on the screen right here if I think that it's like gotten any better with any application or not. But right now, I do not like it. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell down below. And please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I really hope you guys like my channel, my content, and are entertained by me in any way. And if you are, please let me know. I also love reading comments too, especially as a small YouTuber. It just makes me feel like I'm, you know, being watched and people like me if you comment nice things. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!